This is Uncovering Sports. Welcome to Uncovering Sports. I am Cactus Hamilton Barrett, joined, as always, by the Montreal Screwjob himself, Brendan Coleman.
Wow.
We haven't forgotten. None of us have forgotten what you did.
You gotta have a short memory in this game. You play to win the game.
I'm going to put my differences aside for a minute, for the good of the show. And let's get back to where we were last week. We were talking about basketball.
That's really big of you to
Hey, you know
put
what?
our differences aside.
I'm willing to work with you for the sake of the show.
Well, I appreciate that. So the Cavs clinched the first spot in the conference championship, swept the Raptors. Raptors were number 1 seed. Cavs were number 4. But I think we know.
Surprising nobody.
Yeah. You know, they put the Cavs on the ropes last round against the Pacers, right?
Yep.
Get people to maybe think, oh, they might lose.
Right.
They
Had
might
it
do
made it
different
a little
this year.
dramatic.
Yeah. But dominant performance this time around. Where do you think they're going with this?
I know exactly where they're going with this. And, you know, let's talk about the sweep of the Raptors. LeBron is not going to drop 3 games and take it to a game 7 in the first round without getting built back up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
He's going to get his win back and more, and the Raptors are the ones that have to do the job for him.
That's rough.
That's
Canada
dominant.
deserves a winner.
Nope. This is the same thing that's going to happen to the Quebecers.
Oh, man.
Just you wait.
So, Cavs Celtics or Cavs Sixers?
Oh, it's going to be Cavs Celtics, like we talked about last week.
Yeah.
The NBA, as we mentioned before, is possibly the most stubborn promotion in American sports entertainment.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be Cavs Celtics. It was supposed to be Cavs Celtics when the season first started. Actually, during the offseason last year. You know, Kyrie Irving goes over there, sets up a little bit of a showdown between LeBron and Kyrie. You know, kind of a long time coming. Of course, he gets hurt. Not even going to happen. That's not going to change the NBA's plans, though. We're just going to get a Irvingless Celtics. Because they've got some other young stars there.
Yeah. Do you think the injury changed their plans? Do you think, in the other way, like, do you think there was any chance they were going to win with a healthy Kyrie?
Are you asking me if with a healthy Kyrie Irving, the Celtics were going to beat the Cavaliers?
That is what I'm asking.
LeBron James Cavaliers.
Yes.
I'm not going to dignify that with a response.
They can't do it every year, right?
That's what I keep asking. Can they do it every year?
Well, maybe the Western Conference will bail us out this year.
Oh, yeah. Sure. It's the Rockets and the Warriors.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen this one, too.
Hey, the Rockets are better now.
Yeah. They are.
They got to lure LeBron in. And they
That's
do that by beating him this year.
Oh, okay. So it's Houston, Cleveland. The Rockets win. So LeBron pulls a Coleman and joins the enemy.
I call that a Durant, actually.
Okay.
Canada never beat me at anything.
Canada never beat anyone at anything. Ask the Raptors.
Oh.
Drake is somewhere quietly sobbing right now. Yeah. But yes, I'm asking anyone and everyone that is listening to my voice right now, what is the point of a 4th go-around between the Warriors and the Cavs? What else do we have to say about this? What else does the NBA have to say? What is the story they're trying to tell at this point? It's been lost in the arms race. That was, you know, the storyline last season, right? With, as you mentioned, Durant and everything. Yeah. Because the Warriors have, you know, one of the greatest regular seasons of all time. Only get put down, so they got to come back. They got to ratchet it all up. But at this point, they got their comeuppance. They won the 3rd go-around. So why is there a 4th? Because LeBron needs to win again?
It could be that, or it could be they need someone believable to beat LeBron, so he leaves town again.
Sure. So, because he just been... He can't consistently beat the Warriors with the Cavs, that he goes elsewhere.
Yep.
I guess, but couldn't they accomplish that without having to go all the way to the finals? Can't they do that with the Celtics beating him?
I mean, you would think that makes more sense.
Couldn't they do that with the Pacers beating him?
Hang on.
I know.
Raptors,
Now that's
maybe.
just talking crazy.
I think you might see him in Toronto next season. I'm just saying.
Okay. Whatever you say.
Canada has a way of luring you in. Have you been?
I have not.
No.
I have not been to Canada.
Maybe that's your problem.
I guess so. I know you found it quite lovely. A little too lovely. What's in the water up there?
No answer.
So speaking of the Quebecers and XFL related news, let's talk XFL.
Let's do it.
One of the big stories in both worlds of football, XFL and NFL, is that Des Bryant has not signed with an NFL team. And a lot of the world is saying, well, why? What's wrong with Des Bryant? Why is there no more interest? How can he have not signed with a team yet, right?
Sure. But we know the answer.
Yeah, he's under contract. We've got his rights.
You got his rights.
Sure, yes.
Really, really early on, you got his rights.
At a very opportune moment in the draft, the Rattlesnakes secured the rights to Des Bryant's contract.
I can't believe I'm the bad guy here.
And so that answers any questions that anyone may have right now about why an NFL team has not. They're mired in paperwork. I have already been receiving requests from NFL teams to sit down and talk and see if we can hash something out here. Because Des Bryant and the Rattlesnakes and whatever NFL suitor are all going to have to come to an agreement to allow Des to play in another league until the XFL starts its first season.
Have you got any offers from AF?
I have not gotten any offers from AF. And I'm not surprised because they're kind of a D league.
They're a real D league.
And speaking of AF, they did announce another team. They went with Memphis, which was not even on our radar.
Yeah.
For good reason.
You know what? Charlie Ebersol is a piece of crap.
To quote the great Vince McMahon. But hey, I mean they're chugging forward. You got to admit, the Memphis Alliance is a pretty cool name.
Yeah, I've heard it before actually.
Yeah.
Other cities.
Something like Orlando Alliance.
Yeah. Those names don't even sound cool.
They don't sound cool at all. In case you missed the sarcasm in our voices, those are lame names.
And the same name.
And also the same name. Every team. This week on the Alliance of Football, the Alliance take on the Alliance.
I've always been a big Alliance fan.
Yeah. Hey, it's a great way to sell merch. Or is it a terrible way? You buy one, you can root for every team.
That's true.
Are the colors different?
I would hope so. Gotta give them something.
Yeah. One team always wears white, one team always wears red. And that's it. Anyway, Des Bryant, we're wading through it. We're trying to figure it out. But until everyone can come to an agreement, you're not going to see him sign with a team in the NFL. And it's going to be for, if I were the Rattlesnakes GM, which I am, I'd bet it was a 1-year deal. Because then you're going to need Des in training camp and you're going to need Des fresh for the start of the XFL season. So that's that.
Yeah.
We do have some other news in the XFL. A lot of word going around about coaches. Now that they've got players, they need to instill that coach.
I hear the Blockbusters had their coach ahead of time.
Yeah. Well, we speculated about it.
Yeah. Confirmed.
It is indeed a Rex Ryan-led Blockbusters. And they tipped their hand when they picked Mark Sanchez. Kind of saw that coming.
Yeah.
But there you go. No surprise.
No.
I did receive an email from the anonymous Apex GM this week.
Really?
Yeah, they had a signing to announce. Let me pull it up here. They said that they wanted to announce the signing of, and I believe I'm quoting here, based on the spelling, Jack Del Rio.
Wow.
There's about 6 exclamation points, 4 R's and 7 I's. I can't count the number of O's because they're too close together.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. It's at least 10.
I think you nailed it.
So I think I nailed it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Jack Del Rio is now the coach in St. Louis.
I also signed my coach.
Did you really?
Well,
This is big.
we haven't signed a deal yet, but I'm targeting one guy and one guy only.
Okay.
Need someone-
Got a short list.
Short list. With my star quarterback, I need somebody who can run a high-octane offense.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm going with Hugh Jackson.
I got some bad news for you, buddy.
What? Did you get him?
I did not get him. Oh, and not for lack of trying. Obviously, we did our research. We kicked the tires on Hugh. But the Browns have Hugh locked into an ironclad contract. I don't know if you're
What?
aware of that.
He's still there?
He's still there. And he shows no signs of leaving.
What?
The 1 in 31 is locked in for several more years.
I was certain he was available.
You would think that, wouldn't you? But hey, the Browns have been making big moves.
That's true.
You know?
Making $1 million moves?
They're making $1 million moves. They're making it rain. Mostly in the same fashion that they've made it rain in the past. New names, though.
New names. Similar
Now,
story.
Big Money Baker
Is that his name?
I don't know.
okay.
I tried it out.
Yeah. Sure.
We'll find something that fits. First of all, Baker Mayfield doesn't sound like an NFL quarterback.
Sounds like a coal miner or something.
Yeah, they took Baker Mayfield #1 overall. I know we discussed the draft a little bit last week, but I feel like we need to pay a little special attention to what's going on in Browntown.
Maybe not call it that.
They like it there.
Oh, okay.
After you go 0-16, you know exactly
true.
where you sit.
He went downtown to Browntown.
They took Baker Mayfield first, which I highly criticize them for, because I feel like you could have got him at 4. Do you see any of the other 2 teams picking Mayfield if he doesn't go first?
I mean, doesn't that seem like a Jets kind of thing?
Yeah, that's true.
If he was their guy, they had to take him.
Yeah, that's
You could
true.
argue, obviously, they could wait till 4, maybe get Josh Rosen, but whatever.
Right, sure.
Whatever.
Yeah. A lot of guys available.
Yeah, but you know what? Last week I said this was a good pick for them. They need big names, and they got the big name.
You're right. But Saquon Barkley is a big name too, and not picking him kills our super team.
That's true.
We no longer have Saquon Barkley back there. We don't have ODB as an extra weapon because that rumor has been squashed.
Yeah, the dream was Barkley 1, trade number 4 for Beckham, and you're set.
And you're set up. So no one can miss the obvious similarities to their first round draft picks this year and their first round draft picks a couple years ago.
That's true. The short quarterback, the corner, same first round.
Yep. Both, no longer in the league now.
That's true. They kind of botched that spot. And they just running it
They're
back.
just doing a do-over?
Rather than letting it go, moving on to the next thing. They wanted
Instead
to try
of
again.
learning their lesson, they're like, you know what? It's gonna work this time.
They're really throwing Manziel under the bus here, I feel like. Blaming him for it.
Yeah, it was all Johnny's fault. He's better off in San Diego now anyway.
That's true. He's happy there.
Yeah, I want to know who the Extreme are going to get to coach him, but I guess they're not ready to reveal that yet. We'll have to get in touch with
A lot
them.
of interviews happening there.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's a big position. And when you've got Manziel, you want to get the right coach. Someone that's going to keep him on track.
Come on, Hugh Jackson would have been great to pair with him.
You don't let a guy like Hugh Jackson walk out the door, okay?
That's true.
You keep him for the long haul. He knows what he's doing. Trust me.
He's got Belichick power there.
He does, somehow. He's like the reverse Belichick. And speaking of Belichick, this guy's name popped up in the news this week for all the weird reasons. Apparently, Bill Belichick has been nominated to President Donald Trump's Sports Council.
Excuse me?
Yep, that's a real headline. First of all, what does the Sports Council do?
I have no idea.
And is Bill Belichick really the right guy for it?
Yeah. Nice, charismatic guy like that. I think great.
Can really command a room.
Yeah.
A known orator. Great
politician.
at giving a speech.
Yeah. He always dresses for the occasion.
Yep. Really built in the same mold as the president.
I cannot believe that.
It's a headline that I never thought I would read. It's a headline that makes you wonder why the NFL, who has to have something to do with this, wants to keep going in the direction of the controversial political storylines that they seem to be not shying away from.
The fans are going to love this one, guys.
Despite the continuous fan backlash, I might add, they're forging ahead with this. And why? They have plenty of ways to get themselves in the news. They're the NFL.
Yeah. They don't need the president to help them out here.
No, they tried that last year, and it was a disaster.
Well, you know what? I think he needs them more than they need him.
I mean, that's true. But I feel like Bill Belicheck is going to need help in that position as well. Who else is on the sports council? Do we know?
I think we could come up with some educated guesses.
Sure. I think we could appoint some of our own, frankly.
Let's hear it.
Well, you gotta believe that the sports council is going to cover and be responsible for a wide array of topics in the sports entertainment world, right?
Sure, that makes sense.
If it's anything like the rest of the bureaucracy in Washington, we're gonna have committees on subcommittees on, special interest groups. So, I nominate, let's see, Belichick is head of the sports council, so Alex Rodriguez will be his subcommittee chairman on doping.
I like it.
Think, he's a guy that can represent that well.
Yeah, he fits right in there.
Right?
Yeah. How about this? Let's leave the sports council for now.
Sure.
Right?
Walking away.
Yep. We can get back there later if you want, but bullying is a big problem in our country. How about Richie Incognito as the spokesman for the National Anti-Bullying Campaign?
Hey, you know what? Great pick.
Thank you.
I think he'll make a real difference. And while we're nominating chairmen for different councils, let's think about the most divisive issues in our country right now.
Okay.
I think we need someone to tackle this race relations issue that America's facing. In sports, we can all come together as one people, a fan and a player, and everyone can compete. But for some reason in real life, out in the world, there's all this hate for each other. But I can think of the perfect guy to bridge that divide. And I am nominating Dan Snyder as the chairman for the Race Relations Council.
Great pick. You need someone who's sensitive to these topics to handle it. I can't think of anyone more qualified.
Protesters clash in the streets. Law enforcement is under siege. Tensions are about to boil over. And Colin Kaepernick is kneeling. America needs a man who doesn't listen to his critics.
Shouldn't he, though?
A man who gets white to the issue.
Did you say white to the issue?
A man like Dan Snyder, owner of the Washington Redskins and your new chairman for race relations in America.
That doesn't sound right.
While Colin Kaepernick kneels on the job, Dan Snyder is standing up. And whether you are red, white, or blue,
I think you're missing some colors.
Dan Snyder is standing up for you.
Please sit down.
Paid for by the Dan Snyder for GOP Racist Relations Council. Dan Snyder approves this message. Last week, we revealed that we had a world-exclusive announcement from the Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred, to reveal on the show this week. At the time, we did not have the details. We just know that he contacted us. He said, I've got a big announcement. I want you guys to make it. He's a big fan of the show.
Obviously.
And that he would send us more details later. Well, word broke earlier today that the MLB is going to have not one, but 2 All-Star games this season. First time in history. They're going to have the regular All-Star game, which features players voted in by a variety of sources based on their performance from each of the 30 MLB clubs that play in a game, mostly for funsies. There's also going to be a second All-Star game composed of all of the strongest, fastest, and overall greatest baseball players of all time in what Rob called the enhanced All-Star game.
I love it.
I am excited. I am overjoyed. And this is the best part. He told us that we are the captains and we're picking the teams for him.
Oh, yeah.
Now, obviously, we've got a ton of questions, and we're not going to be able to get to them all. But luckily, for a few minutes, we have the pleasure of speaking to Mr. Rob Manfred, the Commissioner of Baseball. Rob, I know you're a busy guy, but thank you so much and welcome to the show.
I have to say I'm tremendously honored.
Hey, and we wish you could have made it out to the studio to make this whole announcement in person, so I didn't have to do it.
I agree. It's not a very satisfactory form of interaction at a time like this.
Well, that's okay. Thanks for taking the time to give us a quick call anyway.
And I know you only got a couple minutes, so I'm just going to jump right into it. The big question. Why did you decide to have 2 All-Star games? And how do you think that this enhanced All-Star game will impact, the integrity of the product?
I have to acknowledge that performance enhancing. The All-Star game would be really good for the business. And our All-Star game, it really is the best of the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure that game continues to be a really compelling entertainment product. And on the integrity issues, I know they're going to use, and that's how it should be. It's their game.
Interesting take.
Sure, yeah, that's fair, I think. So we know one of your quests as a commissioner is to enhance baseball's entertainment value. Do you think this is a step in that direction?
We are looking more broadly and in more depth than I think ever for the sport that make the entertainment product more compelling, particularly from a broadcast perspective. And I think you need to be realistic about the need to use performance-enhancing drugs to keep your sport popular. Now, the trick there, I think, is appropriate regulation.
Absolutely,
I
agree.
feel like that opens up a lot more questions, and we just don't have the time for that now. And I get that you're busy. We're going to have to let you go. Rob Manfred, Commissioner of Baseball, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
We'll talk more to you later.
See you, Rob.
So that's it. There's going to be 2 All-Star games. Back to back. And now we're in charge of booking one of them?
It's a dream come true.
But we got to get to work. We're going to have to start next week.
I want to say right now that while I dominated you in the XFL draft, I'm willing to take it easy on you this time around.
I'm not going to pull any punches. So I'd say bring your A game.
If I must.
Next week, the road to the enhanced All-Star game begins right here on Uncovering Sports.
Deuces. I felt like one of those game shows where you try to give a hint, but you can't say a word. I was like, what the fuck?